First of all, thanks for being part of this video. In this video, we are going to see the concept called time and distance class 2. In a previous class, we have learned the basics of time and distance, and we have learned a concept called distance constant. In today's class, we are going to learn a speed constant and time constant concept. Before that, if you are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe and click on the bell icon to get instant notification about my videos. Let's learn the speed constant concept in time and distance. Speed constant means we have speed equals to distance by time. Speed constant means d is directly proportional to t. So this is the relation for the speed constant. So let's see and understand this concept with an example. A bus is traveling at a uniform speed of 72 kilometers per hour. The time taken by the bus to cover the first 40% of the distance is 10 minutes less than the time taken by to cover the remaining distance. So according to question, it is said that a distance d is traveled by the bus. Initial 40% of the distance is covered and then 60% is covered at a constant speed 72 kilometers per hour. Okay, and asking about to find the distance. We have distances 40% and 60%, so we can write distance ratio. First distance is 40% means 4%, and this is 60% means 6%. 4 is to 6 means 2 is to 3. So the distance ratio is 2 is to 3. If it is 2 is to 3, according to our concept, it is clear that distance is directly proportional to time. So time ratio is also 2 is to 3. In question, it is given that the difference between these two times is 10 minutes less. 10 minutes is taken between the difference between these two. So here the difference between these two is one part. One part value is 10 minutes. So we have total time of 5 parts. 5 parts value is 50 minutes. Okay, what we need to find is distance. We know distance is equals to speed into time. So we have constant speed 72 kilometers per hour into time means total time 5 parts. 5 parts value will be 50 minutes. Here we need to convert them in hours. So we divide this with 60. So we get 0 0 cancel, 6 12 times. So 12 5 times is 60. So 60 kilometers is the distance. Total distance is 60 kilometers. Okay, let's see one more question and understand this clear cut. A car is traveling at a speed of 90 kilometers per hour. The time taken by the car to cover the first 70% of the distance is 20 minutes less than the time taken to cover the remaining distance. Okay, total distance we don't know. First they take 70% of distance and 30% of distance next with a constant speed 70 to 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, we need to find the total distance. Here distance is in ratio of 7 is to 3 according to this one. Okay, we got distance ratio means time ratio is also same 7 is to 3. Here it is said that the time taken extra for these two is 20 minutes. So the difference between these two is 4 parts. 4 parts value is 20 minutes. So one part value is 5 minutes. What we need to find is distance. Distance is equals to speed into time. Here we have speed equals to 90 minutes, 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so time, total time taken is 7 plus 3, 10 parts value. 10 parts value is, one part value is 5 minutes, so 10 parts value is 50 minutes. So here instead of time we write 50 minutes, but we need in kilometers per hours. Here it is kilometers per hours, here it is in minutes, but we need in hours. So we are dividing it with 60 6 15 times 50 and 5 times is 75. So answer is 75 kilometers. So the total distance is 75 kilometers. Now we are going to learn a time constant concept. Time constant means speed equals to distance by time. Time constant means speed is directly proportional to distance. This is the thing. Now let's understand with the questions. Two trains left two stations at the same time and are approaching towards each other. There is two stations. This is station A and station B. One train started from A and going to B with a speed of 54 kilometers per hour, and said that another train is starting from this side and approaching to this side with a speed of 63 kilometers per hour. Now what is the question asked is find the distance between these two stations is asked. We need to find the distance. To find the distance we need to know the speed into time, or else we go with our method, this ratio method. Here we have speeds, two different speeds ratio is 54 is to 63. So these are the speeds. So the ratio between these two is 9 6 times 9 7 times. Speeds ratio got 6 is to 7. So speeds is directly proportional to distance. So distance is also in 6 is to 7 ratio. In our question it is given that when they met it was found that one train has covered 45 kilometers more. So talking about the difference between these two, one part value is 45 kilometers. The statement refers to this point. Okay, so one part value is 45 kilometers. What we need to find is distance between these two stations. The distance is given that 6 is to 7 means 13 parts. The total distance is nothing but the 13 parts. So we need to find the 13 parts value. One part value is 45 45 means 13 5 times is 65, 13 4 times is 52 and 6 585 kilometers. So answer is total distance D equals to 585 kilometers. Let's see one more question with a time constant. Two trains started approaching towards each other at the same time with a speeds of 60 kilometers per hour and 70 kilometers per hour. Let's do it directly with the speeds ratio, given that 60 is to 70 means 6 is to 7 is the ratio of the speeds when they met. Okay, the distance ratio is 6 is to 7. It is also 6 is to 7. When they met, it was found that one train has covered 30 kilometers more than the other. So given that the difference between these two, one part value is 30 kilometers more. So what we need to find is find the distance between them all. So total distance is 13 parts. Asking about 13 parts is what? 13 3 times is 390. So answer will be 390 kilometers. Answer for this question is 390 kilometers. Now we are going to learn the concept called average speed. Average speed. We know that speed equals to distance by time. Speed equals to distance by time. But if asked about average speed, then it will be total distance by total time. Let's see some examples and understand the concept about average speed. Uh, First example, if in a question we see there is two destinations from A to B, the total distance is D, and it is divided in three parts, D1, D2 and D3. To cover D1, some T1 time is taken, and covering D2 distance, some T2 time is taken. To cover D3 distance, some t3 time is taken, then asked for average speed, then the formula will be, we have total distance by total time. So total distance means d1 plus d2 plus d3. Total time means t1 plus t2 plus t3. Okay, this is one type of formula. Let's see one more example. This is example 2. In case the distance is divided in three different parts, d1, d2, d3, and said that first d1 part is covered with a speed of s1, second d2 part is covered with a speed of s2, third part covered with a speed of s3. Then asked about average speed, then the formula will be, total distance means d1 plus d2 plus d3, we know that one. Okay, here we need to find the time, total time. We know that time equals to distance by speed. Here we have distances and speeds. So first one will be d1 by s1 plus d2 by s2 plus d3 by s3. So this is the formula for this type of question, this model of a question. There is one more model. If we have a and b in between, it is given that some part of distance is covered, some part, not about a particular distance, covered with a speed of s1 and covered for a time of t1, and said that another some part with speed s2 covered with a speed of time of t2, some part of distance with a speed of s3 covered with a speed of at a time of 3 t3. For this type of question, the average speed is total distance. We know that a distance equals to speed into time, but we have s1 t1, so first one must be s1 into t1, this is d1, nothing but, plus s2 by s2 into t2 plus s3 into t3, this is nothing but d1 plus d2 plus d3. Okay, here in denominator we need to write the total time. Here we have t1, t2 and t3, so this is t1, t2 and t3. This is the average speed formula for this type of question. So we have three types of questions we got. Okay, we have a formula for in case the distance is constant. If the distance is constant, the average speed has a formula which is, let's see with an example and understand. If there is a bike traveled from A to B with a speed of s1 and return back with a speed of s2, then find average speed and asked about average speed between these s1 and s2 is 2 into s1 into s2 by s1 plus s2. This is the formula. Or else one more method, one more formula for this one is, a distance is given, first half distance is covered with a speed of s1, second half of the distance is covered with a speed of s2, then also average speed equals to 2 into s1 into s2 by s1 plus s2, same formula. So if we see a question like this or like this, the formula will be the same. Otherwise we have three more formulas we have learned, these three. Okay, let's understand with the questions. First question, a man travels from A to B by a car. A to B by a car with a speed of 48 kilometers per hour and returns on his bike with a speed of 16 kilometers per hour. Okay, and returns with bike. First initially car and now with a bike at a speed of 16 kilometers per hour. Now asked about find his average speed for the entire journey. So I already said you before, the formula for this one is average speed equals to 2 into S1 into S2, which is 48 into 16 divided by sum of the speeds, 48 plus 16. So we get 2 into 48 into 16 divided by, this will be 4 5 64, 16 4 times 4 12 times, so we get 24 kilometers per hour is the average speed. Okay, let's see one more question. In a journey 160 kilometers, in a journey of 120 kilometers, 160 kilometers, so the total distance is 160 kilometers. The distance between these two stations is 160 kilometers. A train covers distance 120 kilometers, so 120 kilometers at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, and the remaining distance at, so remaining distance is 40 kilometers at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Then asked about the average speed of the train for the whole journey. Here average speed equals to total distance is nothing but 160 by total time. We know that time equals to distance by speed. Here we have the distance is 120 divided by, we don't know the actual total time, so we are taking time equals to distance by speed. Here we have 120 kilometers is covered with a speed of 80 kilometers per hour, so time equals to distance by speed, so this is nothing but t1 plus, for this the time is distance by speed, which is 40 divided by 40, so we get 160 divided by, here this zero cancel and we have 1, this will be 4 3 times 4 2 times, so 3 by 2, 160 into 2 divided by 3 plus 5, 3 plus 2 5, okay, 5, this 0 cancels and into 2, 16 4 times is 64, so answer is 64 kilometers per hour is our answer. Okay, let's see one more question about average speed. A, B, C are on a trip by a car. A drives during the first hour at an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour. B drives during the next 2 hours at an average speed of 48 kilometers per hour. C drives for the next 3 hours at an average speed of 52 kilometers per hour. They reached their destination after exactly 6 hours. Their average speed was, asking about average speed. Okay, the question is nothing but A, B and C on a trip by a car. First, A drives the first hour, 1 hour, time given as 1 hour with a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Next, B drives during the next 2 hours at an speed of 48 kilometers per hour. Next, C drives for the next 3 hours at an average speed of 52 kilometers per hour. Now we need to find the average speed. Average speed is equals to total distance by total time. Here we don't know the distance and we don't know the time also, but we know the formulas as distance equals to speed into time. We have speed here and time also. So first part covered by A, second part B, C. A covers 50 into 50 kilometers per hour into 1 kilometer, 1 hour. So 50 into 1 is the distance d1, by A. Next, B covers 48 into 2. C covers 52 into 3. So this is D2, this is D3. So total distance is got. Now we need to find the time. Time equals to distance by speed. Here we got in our question it is clear that 6 hours is taken for the entire journey, and we also see that 1 hour, 2 hours and 3 hours, sum of all these three is 6 hours. So the total distance is nothing but 6 hours. Okay, now we get 50 into 1 times is 50. This will be 96. 3 2 times is 6, and 3 5 times is 15. We get 12. This will be 20. 202. We got 202 on the numerator divided by 6. 202 divided by 6 is 6. 3 times is 18. We get 22. 6 3 times is 18. We get a 4 by 6. So 33. 2 by 6. 2 by 3 is the total average speed of the entire journey. This is the average speed of the entire journey covered by A, B, C by a car. By this we have completed for today's concept. In tomorrow's concept we are going to see the relative speed concept. In relative speed concept we have vast topic, very big topic. So we are going to deal this relative speed concept in the next class. Okay. If you are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe, and click on the bell icon to get instant notification about the videos I am uploading. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.